This bill repeals and replaces the Telecommunications Interception Capability Act of 2004, and it's probably good to remind the House to remember that that was in fact a bill which was brought in by the previous Labor government. So it does seem a little unnatural, does it not, for them to have brought in the original Ticker Act and for them now through perhaps it's a matter of convenience to now not support this bill before the House. I think it would be a great idea for this House to remember what this bill is for, what this bill is intended to do. So, there are two parts to this bill: to clarify interception obligations for telecommunications companies, recognising that time has passed since 2004 when the then Labor government brought in the original telecommunications bill. And the second part introduces a transparent network security regime for network operators and for government to work together on matters of national security. And that is what the bill is for telecommunications and the government to work together on matters of national security. And I think that one would have to live in some kind of parallel universe where it wasn't believed there was a necessity for the police and security agencies to have the ability to solve crime, because that is what this bill empowers our security agencies and our police on receipt of a warrant to get in and to solve crime. So, interception telecommunications and intercepting telecommunications in real time plays an absolute vital role in investigating crime, in disrupting crime and prosecuting crime, in detecting and prosecuting international and domestic cybercrime, and combating threats to national security, and to responding to emergencies such as kidnappings which happen in our society. Now, if Labor want to turn a blind eye to national security, then on their heads be it, because in opposing this bill, that is exactly what Labor is doing. What they are saying to the people of New Zealand is that they do not believe there is any serious crime in New Zealand. They do not believe that methamphetamine is a problem. They don't believe that cybercrime has issues for overseas companies' investment into New Zealand and our global reputation as a good place to do business. Labor don't buy into any of those issues in opposing this bill. Well, I can tell Labor that that is exactly what this telecommunications bill does. I just want to go over a couple of case studies, and one relates to the solving of crime to do with methamphetamine. And so the New Zealand police were advised by overseas police force about an organised crime group who were smuggling drugs into New Zealand and precursors to drugs. So the New Zealand police, and of course they were acting under the 2004 bill, which was brought in by the previous Labor government, was able to intercept communications, bring about a prosecution, a successful prosecution. I think they realised something like, I'm just reading here, how much, 150 kilograms of pseudoephedrine, which otherwise, had it not been intercepted, would have ended up on the streets of New Zealand in the communities that Labor profess to care so much about, causing untold misery to the very people that Labor profess to really care about. Because of the interception capability under the previous telecommunications bill, which is being brought up to date with this bill, that crime would have gone unsolved and untold misery would have been brought about on the New Zealand public. Another case study I just want to talk about is to identify and rule out innocent people. So, a child was murdered. Again, under the time of the previous Telecommunications Bill, which was brought in by the previous Labour government. You see, they liked it. They liked national security when they were in government. So why is it that they don't like national security anymore? So perhaps the next speaker from Labour might explain to the House how not supporting this bill would have helped this child who was kidnapped, and the police regarded the child's own family as being responsible. How much heartache would there be around circumstances like that? Through the telecommunications of the day, the police were able to determine that the child's own family weren't responsible for this crime, and indeed were able to detect who the perpetrators of the crime were. Well, Labour needs to tell the House that without the kind of provision that's being brought in by this bill, how are we going to solve crimes like that? How are the police and our security agencies going to protect New Zealanders if it weren't for this bill? Because, Mr. Speaker, that is what this legislation is all about, and I commend it to the House.
Claire Curran.
Thank you.